Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are here today to break down the brand new Mounts of Mayhem drop and all of the new features that are going to be releasing on December 9th. In just a couple weeks here, it's pretty dang exciting, and it is coming with a whole lot of content. I have a tier list here so we can definitively sort out all of the different features and changes, with S tier being the Herobrine lore, all of that saga, and the old myths of him lurking in the shadows watching you in your first ever Minecraft worlds. Anything to that level of stardom, lore, or excitement will be going in the S tier, the Herobrine lore tier. And then for useless, silly changes that are dumb and pointless, we're going to be putting it in the D tier, which is also known as the beetroot tier, because I've never made a beetroot farm in my life, and I never will. The first feature from the Mounts of Mayhem drop that we're going to be breaking down and ranking is actually the Parched skeleton. New mob variations are pretty dang awesome. It looks really good. Look at the design of it. The bones are like decaying away. They're caked up with the sand from being a desert mob. But the problem is, it is maybe the third most annoying hostile mob. First most annoying is the Phantom. The second, the Creeper. But man, having a skeleton just aimbot you over and over while you're trying to do something, or you're balancing up in the air and he knocks you off, you fall to your death. Man, hostile mobs of skeletons, they're a little bit overpowered, but honestly, this is a more tame and chilled out version of the actual skeleton mob. What do I mean by that? Well, the Parched skeleton here, it actually has a slower rate of fire, so that's incredible. That means it's easier to bob and weave and close the distance on this bad boy. Also, not only does he have a lower fire rate, but he even has less health points, so you can take him out with less blows than you would a normal skeleton. He's pretty cool. He can be found riding on the brand new Camel variant that we'll show later, but honestly, because he's a more relaxed version of the skeleton, he'll be easier to defeat. You're not going to see him very often. I'm going to put him in the B tier, middle of the ground. Not too exciting of a mob, it's just kind of a new rendition of a mob that we already have. This is the Camel Husk. Look at him. He's a husk of a camel. He's got an empty rib cage, so everything he eats, it just kind of plops out onto the ground. That's kind of nice because you don't have to worry about picking up the feces of your camel mobs anymore. He's not going to really stink up the area because it's not going to have a long time to kind of simmer in the bowels, kind of, get that horrible stench that we all know camel poops are known for. So that's already an added bonus right there compared to the normal camel. I think that the dark variation of him looks really cool as well. Not only does he act as a mountable mob, where you can ride on top of him, traverse the lands, he's also going to serve as a mountable mob for enemies, as you can see in this picture. He has a husk zombie on him, and then he also has the Parched skeleton riding him on the back. And you can even see in this photo that they carry spears, so they can kind of lunge around, which will be cool. They'll like rapid fire, hunt and dash you down to attack, while they could also be like a good mob for fighting in the back ranks with the arrows. So, pretty versatile. It's cool how he has multiple characters riding him at once. Just like the Parched mob, the Camel Husk will not burn during the daytime, and the Camel Husk will actually act as a hostile mob until you ride on him, and then once you ride on him, he won't be considered or registered in the game as a hostile mob anymore. So that means that he'll stick around and he won't despawn, and it looks like, he enjoyed his Thanksgiving. He's got the little tired death stare going on, and honestly, I think the design and how he's going to work with the hostile mobs is really awesome. It'll make for some very scenic and epic stoic battlefronts. So we're going to be placing this bad boy in the A tier. The oceans are going to be even more vibrant and chaotic with this brand new mob of the Nautilus. Look at this bad boy. He's got a really gaping, beautiful squid-like mouth, and he's just chilling in the Nautilus shell, giving it some more lore and backstory. And as you can see, Steve is mounting him, and he is having quite a good time riding him along. It's kind of funny, the mouth of the Nautilus, it's kind of like the exhaust pipe of a motorboat, and he shoots out little bubbles. You can just traverse across the oceans, and you can even jump, store up jumps, and go pretty high up in the air using this bad boy. He gets rid of your oxygen bar for breathing, so you can explore the oceans better, go deeper, not have to worry about coming up for air as often, if at all. Pretty sure it just pauses the oxygen bar completely. And I'm actually pretty dang excited for this bad boy because I feel like he can totally change how you traverse around your worlds. You could kind of design your pathways and your cities with water in mind, so that way you could hop water source to water source, or even make water source parkour where you're jumping and doing a little obstacle course and have fun little races with your friends using the brand new Nautilus. I think the design looks really amazing. He's pretty big. It looks a lot bigger than the actual Nautilus shell when you get it as a holdable item. You can even breed Nautiluses by using pufferfish. He'll attack pufferfish that are swimming around him in the wild. You can use buckets of pufferfish to make little baby Nautiluses. So I think it's always cool when Minecraft goes back and it gives more usages for its old features. Let me know, have any of you guys messed around with the Nautilus and the test features yet? And I'm pretty excited to get my hands on this bad boy and explore the movement mechanics and mess around and try and make some obstacle courses and befriend a brand new mob within my Minecraft realm of Heim. Next up, a brand new feature that is going to be coming along with the Nautilus mob is the brand new Nautilus Armor. I honestly think that the design of the armor looks super freaking good. It looks super slick. This is the Netherite variation, but they have all of the other variations: copper, gold, diamond, iron. Looks super slick. You'll be able to protect your friends, the brand new Nautilus, and make sure that he's safe and protected on your beautiful ocean endeavors and excursions. And I really think they outdid themselves with the actual design, and I think it's cool that they're keeping in mind armor for more of the friendly mobs like they are with the dogs, as well as having saddles for happy gas, all of that good stuff. It's pretty cool to have mountable, rideable mounts in different biomes, and having this to be able to make sure that you're not just blowing through the Nautilus and having to befriend more and more because they're, meeting their demise on the battlefields in the ocean is pretty nice. I'm kind of torn because it is just armor after all. It's not like the coolest feature in the world, but it will be a nice quality of life that stems off of the S tier ranking of the Nautilus. So kind of thinking this is like a B tier ranking brand new feature. It's not like game changing like the Nautilus is. Neither of these two mobs are really game changing either, just kind of a cool addition, quality of life to the update that we're getting with the Mounts of Mayhem. Oh, look at that. If it isn't Netherite Horse Armor. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, K Borton just ranked the Nautilus Shell Armor in B tier, so Horse Armor, it's going to be no different. It's going to go in B tier as well. But you're poorly mistaken. This is fortunately giving us a brand new D tier beetroot feature. So that's really awesome that we can kind of flesh out the tier list a little better. This is pretty nice that we can add the horse armor to the beetroot section. It is pointless, it is dumb. Don't get me started. I have a burning hatred for horses. I am not a enjoyer of them. Horses are like apex predators, but without balancing the ecosystem. Wolves, bobcats, falcons, all of these animals, they go and they feast on the lower life forms that eat up all of the vegetation of the land, like for example mice, rabbits. And what is a horse? It's essentially a giant rat. Horses, they just go around and they totally uproot the ecosystem, just like it would if you had any of the smaller end on the food chain. animals, if they were left to run rampant and just reproduce and eat as much as they want, they would ruin all the grasslands, they'd ruin all the vegetation, there would be more erosion, the dirt would be flying around, and then we'd be living in a dystopian, barren wasteland, just like the Interstellar movies. And I don't want to live in a world like that, and it's just crazy to me that horses are the giant equivalent to these little bottom root animals. They go around, they feast on all of the grass, they have no actual predator that can feast on them and kind of balance them out in the food chain. And so they literally can just go around, eat, reproduce, and ruin all of the land. And I'm just not a big fan of them. My Honda Civic has like over 100 horsepower, so that's 100 horses in just one vehicle. It just seems like horses are redundant and played out. You know, I'm sure they were pretty cool pulling wagons, chariots, and stuff back in the day, but now that we have a bunch of machinery, I'm just not really sure if I'm on that horse train anymore, you know? There's gonna be a few people in the comments who are like avid horse bettors, and, you know, I guess if you're a true degenerate and you get your entertainment from that, then well done. I've never engaged in that behavior in my life. And while horses to me, I don't really have a soft spot in my heart for them. So I'm going to be kicking them off to the sideline, down in the beetroot tier. I never ride them in my Minecraft world, kind of tying it back to the video game and not just my real life hatred for them. I don't ever use them. I use my elytra like a scholarly man would, a man of culture, a man who is on a mission to not waste time, to maximize profits, to get as much done as humanly possible in the shortest amount of time span. Why would I ever use a horse? I'm never going to need netherite horse armor. They're silly. I seriously just look at horses. Sometimes I'll take them out so I can get some leather. I guess that's like a positive usage for horses. But having to protect them and preserve their lives with netherite horse armor, that's just really not my wheelhouse. And so they're going to be sitting down in the pointless beetroot tier. I will never make a beetroot farm, and I will never ride a horse. Oh baby, look at this. It's a zombie horse. And well, this is way better than a real horse, because it's one step closer to its permanent end. However, there is still an issue with this brand new mob. It is still a horse at the end of the day. So, not really too sure how to feel about it. It's definitely way better than a normal horse, and it's not protecting a normal horse, as does the actual netherite armor. So we're gonna shrink it down so we can put it onto our tier list, and we're gonna put it our first C tier ranking, the zombie horse in the C tier. Better than a normal horse, doesn't protect normal horses, but at the end of the day, it still stems off of being a horse. So it can rot down there towards the bottom of the tier list. I hate horses. Another cool little fact about the zombie horses is that it does spawn in the savanna biome and the desert biome at nighttime. So it will be kind of nice to get more mob variation in those biomes and kind of have more differences between land to land, ecosystem to ecosystem. So that'll be kind of cool to see these rare mobs kind of spawn in as you go and travel across from your home base. So I guess that is another nice little added bonus, another reason to put it above the beetroot tier. So have fun in the C tier, buddy. You're just mid. You're kind of cool though, I'm not gonna lie. I do like the zombie design of him. Kind of looks like Shrek as a horse. So for that, we're giving him some bonus points. We are getting a brand new weapon, baby. And I am very excited about this weapon. This is honestly maybe the most exciting thing about the Mounts of Mayhem drop. Look at that. The Tusk zombie, or whatever it is. The Husk zombie, not the Tusk zombie. It's not like a mammoth as a zombie. But the Husk zombie is carrying a spear. That's really awesome. We're gonna get new mob variants that are using spears, lunging around, quickly dashing, closing the distance to engage in combat. It's gonna be really cool for fighting off enemies. It'll be cool for PvP battles as well. You could do elytra drive-bys, fly down like an Air Force bomber. Pew! Do a little dash and run. Dash and demise. Pretty nice. And I'm really excited also to use the spear for movement mechanic courses. You can make parkour courses, bounce around, dash in the air, going obstacle to obstacle, trying not to fall. And I really do like movement mechanics in Minecraft. They're fun to mess around with, they're fun to make courses for. So this is very versatile in its usage and how it's going to be seen in the brand new update across everybody's worlds. And so we're going to be putting this bad boy in the S tier as well. New weapons are always awesome. I think that Bojang does a great job of making every single weapon feel really unique in its mechanics of how it plays and the usages of it in your worlds as well. Next up, we're going to be looking at the zombie Nautilus. This is a hostile mob, and it's pretty dang cool because now we're going to have Trident drowned running around, dashing around on their little custom motorboats in the ocean. This is going to feel like a Aquaman movie, battling these dudes just whipping around, launching tridents in your direction, slipping, dodging, and they are pretty ominous. You know, I feel profound aura from this notorious trident mob riding now a zombie Nautilus. Really cool, kind of a little bit scary. You know, it's gonna get my heartbeat pumping a little bit, which will be nice. And I'm excited to have these Atlantis battles underneath the water and face the drowned and the brand new zombie Nautilus. So we're going to be putting this in the A tier. I would do an S tier because it is the coolest like enemy variation that we are getting out of the brand new enemies, but there is a slight difference in the zombie Nautilus for a even cooler version that we will be showing off here. The zombie Nautilus in a warm ocean biome. This is just the zombie Nautilus if he was pumping steroids into every vein into his body. Look at the design. It's more colorful, it's more vibrant, more detailed and textured. The coral, it's jutting off of his shell, climbing all around the shell like vines, encapsulating his very being, and he looks just very awesome. Look at his face. He does not look happy. He's ready to throw down. He's angry at the world, and he's gonna take it out on you for trying to deforest, to uproot his home, save the oceans, and that is what this guy intends to do. Keep the oceans safe. Honestly, he's misunderstood. He's not really a hostile mob. He's just a mama bear protecting his home. And for that, I think he's beautiful, and not just because of his character design, but because of the message that he stands for. S tier. Very incredible variation of the zombie Nautilus. This is the last new feature in the Mounts of Mayhem update, at least the notable one that I could see and talk about. Brand new enchantment that is coming into Minecraft, and it is going to be stemming off of the spear weapon, which I am already really excited for. But the lunge is what really takes the spear to a whole new level. It'll allow you to thrust and propel forward really quickly, travel great distances. The spear has the furthest reach of any weapon besides actual projectile weapons, so that's already going to make it overpowered. But the fact that you can quickly close the distance with the lunge enchantment is going to make it really fun, and that is also what's going to allow us to do a whole lot of movement challenges, build parkour courses stemming around this. It'll even allow you to just hop across your builds and your world in a more entertaining and engaging way as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun to try and test out the lunge mechanic of the spear and see how it just affects our regular meta of playing and movement in Minecraft in general. So I think this is going to be a really prominent and cool change to explore and mess around with, but it does just stem off of another major feature of the spear, so we will put it down here in the B tier. And guys, this is our definitive ranking of all of the brand new features that are going to be dropping with the Mounts of Mayhem. I'm really excited. I honestly think that this is a pretty good drop, full of content, hostile mobs, friendly mobs, brand new movement mechanics with the Nautilus and spear, And the only thing that is just really a letdown is that they're trying to protect horses more. Hopefully, they'll just delete horses from the game and we can have the skeleton and zombie versions. If you have any changes to the tier list and how you would rank the brand new features that are coming out for the Mounts Mayhem, that is not how definitive works, so just change your mind and look back here at how I ranked and put all of the features, and then you will have your answer for how excited you should be and what features you should explore and mess around with in the new Minecraft update first. Thank you so much for checking out the Heimcraft channel, and come back here so you can learn more about future updates, see some cool mini games and beautiful art here in the Heimcraft realm. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.